Oh, good. We got some people. Let's wait till we get a few more. Wait till we get a couple more. Okay. This is what we're doing. The DeWalt XR DCF 870 hydraulic came out about a year ago. The Milwaukee Gen 2 Surges came out a week and a half ago. Well, we're going to be pitting all these hydraulics against all my other impact drivers that I have, including the M12 Surge that came out probably 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, we are missing another hydraulic, but that's no big deal. That'll be the big old monstrous, what's the name of that tool? Master Force Boost Seminars. We can get that later. Maybe last. Okay. Looks like we got 26. Okay. Well, let's get going here. Each tool is going to have about 3 or 4 runs, and that's about it. Then I'm going to do some drilling into this wood here. Okay. Speed 2. Now, let's try it in low. That'll be on each fastener. Okay. Now we're going to remove in low. Okay. Now we're going to move it in high. Okay. Now I'm going to switch over to the Milwaukee Surge hydraulic. That's in low. Now, let's put her in high. This is 3 speeds. The DeWalt's only 2 speeds. Okay. Let's remove this in low. Okay. Now, we're going to move on to the next ones. Let us take with, now, the Milwaukee has a quick insert, if you can remove it. Okay. By the way, we're trying to run equal batteries. That's why I have a rigid battery on here with an adapter. Now, this was with the 3.5 power stack. So now let's redo it with the 4-amp power pack. Okay, we're done with the surge. Okay. Now let's go speed 2. Would help if I had a bit. Don't have enough of these. Okay. Okay, now speed 1. Now let's remove it with speed 1. Now, let's remove it with speed 2. I don't know which battery was faster. Okay. Now, let us move on to the next victim. The next victim, let's pick on the M12 fuel surge. Quick collet, 5-amp battery, fully charged. Let's go with speed 3. Okay. Now, let's go with speed 1. Boy, is this slow. You can hardly hear it. Still doing it. Still turning it. Okay, that's as far as she wants to go. And this does have a self-tapping mode, I see. Okay, now let's try to remove this one at speed 1 and see if it could even do it. This has got to be the quietest tool out of all of them. Let's turn it on self-tapper. Let's try a different one. Let's see what it'll do. That's one thing that the new M18 Gen 2 Surge doesn't have is self-tapping. The old Surge Gen 1 does. Let's see what this does. Okay, it quits right there. That's interesting. Let's see about removing. Wow. Now let's try that again with putting in. It quits. I don't know why they didn't make the new Gen 2 Surge with self-tapping. That's kind of strange. You would think that would have been how much more money? I mean, I heard they are going to be bringing out a new M12 fuel Surge. It's coming out probably, I imagine, in the next 6 months. Maybe they'll even bring out the World of Concrete. You know, that's coming up, what, in January? Okay. Let's try to put this down one more time in speed 1. So much vibrating it does. Vibrates an awful lot. Maybe we go speed 2 and see if it doesn't vibrate as much. Let's try it here. Okay. Put it down the rest of the way in speed 3. Okay. Let's try to remove this. It's self-tapping. Pretty good job, actually. I'm surprised. As you know, I sold my Gen 3 M12 fuel. In fact, I had 2 of them. Didn't really want them anymore. I got the Surge. And also I have the subcompact. Okay. Maybe I should go bust out my other hydraulic. Since we did all 3 of these, I got 1 more. Master Force Boost, look how big this is. Hey, how's it going, guys? This is enormous, but Flex makes this for Menards. Okay. Yeah. Let's go with the 5 amp hour. Okay. So let's see what this has for modes. Well, it's only got 3 speeds. Okay. So yeah, this is so big, but the same company that makes Flex and Skill and Ego and four other companies makes this for Menards. It's about the size of a small mid-torque. Okay. Now, let's see how it does. Okay. Since we're comparing these, okay, let's go with low. go with high. Now let's remove in low or high first. Now let's see if we can remove it in low. Wow, interesting. This thing only has 1,800 beats per minute, impacts, and 2,400 RPMs, but it's actually surprisingly, let's do something here. If I could figure out how to race these, give me a minute. Okay. I know I got the same size one here. Not quite. Let's make sure. T40, T40. Yeah. Okay. Right now, let's just stick with the hydraulics. We're going to have some fun with these hydraulics. We'll throw the other tools in when I get done with the hydraulics. Okay, let me figure this out. I think I know how to do this. Give me a minute. I'm going to warm these up a little bit more. Okay. Let's take that one. Hydraulics don't really like to be warmed up that much. Let's move this on. Okay. Try to have a race here. Okay. Milwaukee, easy to insert. Okay. Turn this off a low. Okay. Okay, let's try that over again. I split the wood right in half. I think this is going to split it too, but this is a solid piece of wood at least. Hey, for a cheap Menards tool, it wasn't that far behind. Wasn't that far behind at all. Now let's see which one could remove it faster. I got that on slow. The Milwaukee's faster. This will be great to put in already holes that are here. We'll do that with the, I got to get, now, yeah, let me do this. Okay. I'm going to put one in at a time. We're going to go with previous holes too. Okay. Make sure that Master Force boost the Menards. This is top speed. Fully charged. They're 5 amp hour boost battery. And this is supposedly 21700 cells. Okay. We just did that. Now, let's go with the M12 surge. Turn it into 3. Forget it. You don't want to even put it in. Okay. Now, let's go with the DeWalt. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's try to reverse these now. Tabless cells and tabless cells. It's always hard doing a race. Let's do one more. Let's try a race in slow. The lowest gear. That's irrelevant. Let's remove that one. Let's finish putting this one in, then try to remove both of them in low. Okay. Slowest speed. Boy, but the wall won't even do it. Let's try it on this one. Okay. Let's see if the battery will help it. We'll switch 3.5 power stack. See if that's any better. Okay. Slowest speed too. Let's try this one first. Wow. Now, this will be the proof in the pudding. Let's try the surge. Let's see. Okay. Now, let's try this cheap Master Force boost. And I mean cheap. This is so cheap in a kit. You can get this complete kit at Menards for probably $150. Wow. It did doing something that the other two can't do. Let's try this one. And this is in speed 1. It's in low. Wow. Okay. Okay, it won't do it. Let's try it in speed 2. First, let's give the Milwaukee a shot at it. Speed 1. Okay, let's try speed 2. It should be able to do it in speed 2. No. Okay. That's embarrassing. Okay. Let's try this cheap Menards tool in speed 2. Here's speed 1. Speed 2. Speed 3. Speed 2. Okay. And that's in speed 2. Because then there's speed 3, speed 1, speed 2, speed 3. That's embarrassing. That is really an embarrassment to this tool alone. Bare tools, $200. And I got tablet cell battery on it. It's the Rigid. This is their Middle Brothers battery. And it couldn't do it. Okay? And this has way more power, supposedly. Way more. And then the DeWalt couldn't do it. This is interesting that a cheap hydraulic impact driver can do, it's an embarrassment. Okay, let's give these tools a break. Okay. Now, let's just keep the 3.5 hour stack on. The warmest tool is the M12. Okay. Now, let's move on to the rest of the impacts. We're going to go and get right down to the nitty and the gritty. Then we'll go back to the hydraulics again and play with a little bit more. Then I'm going to do some drilling into this with I got the new Bosch right angle. I call it a whole hog. I had the new DeWalt 937 impact wrench for lineman. And I also have a very expensive fine drill that takes 7/16. That'll be for drilling into 3 inches of wood. In the meantime, let's stick with all this other stuff. And we'll keep using these. But that's really funny that a cheap $150 hydraulic from Menards could do what the other two can't. And it's really nice to hear that this M12 fuel surge is so quiet. And it's got the self-tapping mode. That's why I sold my 3rd generation. Didn't need it anymore. Okay, let's work on these 3 over here. In fact, yeah. 1, 2. We'll leave that alone. Okay. The dogs are barking about. Hey. So that means you got 2 Akitas. They bark and growl at everything that moves. Okay. This Milwaukee 3651-20. Brushless. This is the one with the multi-speeds, not the other one that's got 1 speed for your finger. Versus the subcompact that came out in the spring. 3450-20. And it doesn't have a quick insert. Okay. Now, let's keep using these 4. Okay. This has no speed control. It's your finger. Got it in high. There's no self-tapping on this either. See how much faster it is. You know how many beats per minute this hits? The impacts? 4,900. This is a little bumblebee. Hey. Okay. Doesn't even pay to try to do it in slow-mo. But if you were to put this in slow, put it in speed 1, the brushless. Okay, doesn't want to go any further. Let's go with speed 2. See if it'll put it in. No problem. Hesitated there for a minute. Let's finish putting it in speed 3. Try to move it in speed 1. I doubt it. It did it. That was in speed 1. That's a hot one. See what the battery's at. Drop the cell finally on a rigid battery. Okay. Now, let's go back to the subcompact. Okay, let's remove it. Let's try to put it in at a slow pace. I doubt that it'll do it. I'll have to try to use my finger. Forget it. that's a hot one. Okay. That's why I sold my Gen 3 M12 fuel, because I got the subcompact and I have their hydraulic surge. That's why I sold it. I heard they're coming out of the 4th generation next year anyhow. Okay. Now that's done. Okay. Let's get the next victims. They get the 4th generation M18 fuel versus the new Works compact with their tabless cell battery. Quick collet. No quick collet. Okay, let's get a battery for it. Okay, we run the rigid again. I'm sticking with all small batteries here. Nothing over 5 amp hours. Okay. Now, let me find some gloves. See anybody's talking about. Hey, how's it going? Okay. Okay, it works. Let's go with another one. Okay. Now let's go with the 4th gen Milwaukee. Now let's see if they can remove it in low. This does have a self-tapper. Might be the tool. Wow. Okay. Now, let's go with the Works. In low. See if we remove this one. how slow it's going. Okay. Surprised it did it. Okay. Two more victims. Let's go with the Bosches. Okay. Let's go with these Bosches. Quick collet, finally Bosch put on. Took them years. This GDR 18V 1950C. This came out last fall. This came out in the spring. GDR 18V 215. This looks modern. This looks old school. This is a little bit bigger. And of course, you know, it's got a metal nose cone. This is painted black. Different kind of collet too, the way they look. They're both pretty close. Both have 4 amp hour, 21700 cells. Just not the new expert batteries. Those are coming out shortly. Okay. Now, make sure I got everything in high. This is just 2 speeds. And it says auto. Auto is something I've never used. Okay. First of all, let's try to remove these. Okay. Three speeds on this Bosch. This is the one that came out earlier. Okay. Now, maybe we'll have a race here. We'll have it here. trace them out. Let's do that again. But over here. Wood splitting. Let's remove one at a time. This is the newer one that just came out. The GDR 18B215. Okay. Now, let's reach for two more. Let's try this matchup. Rigid 4 mode. Harbor Freight Hercules. Okay. This is a brand new battery. I got this about a month ago. This has got a rigid octane on it. This battery came out, I think, 19. I bought it 3 years ago. This is 21,700 cells. This is 18,650. This is 2,400 inch-pounds. This is 2,200 inch-pounds. But this has the newer battery. Okay. Now, let's try it here. One at a time now. Do it again. Let's move it over here. looks like the Hercules one going in, the rigid one taking it out. That's a hot one. Okay. Now, let's stay on this end here. We got 3 more to go. Okay. Three more. Okay. Let's get these 3 more going. Okay. Ryobi. PBL IDO4. This just came out in the spring. This is the replacement for this is their 2nd gen. This is their tabless battery. Lost a cell, the edge. Okay. We all know the DeWalt XR DCF 860. This is their high torque impact driver. Drop the cell on the 4-amp power pack. Okay. That's splitting the wood. Let's try to find a previous hole. That way we don't keep splitting wood. Ryobi had a lead, I think. Wow. Okay. That's strange. Normally the Ryobi doesn't win that much. Let's try it here. I haven't used this that much. Pretty much, I think I did 3 demos with it. This is their tabless battery. And you know, sold at Home Depot. Wow. Okay, this is really strange. This is 2,300 inch-pounds. They increased it for the Gen 2. The Gen 1 was 2,200. This is 23. And this is a tabless battery. And if I'm right, they use the same cells in this as DeWalt uses. I don't think I ever put these two against one another. Okay. Well, let's remove these. I have a hard time getting over this hump. Let's remove one at a time. this Ryobi's getting to be a sleeper. I have a test way back in my library when this easily took out the Gen 1. You know, their HP model, their Gen 1. I ran just a regular 4 amp battery in it against the Gen 1 with the edge, and this took it out. This has that much more get up and go. This RPMs is 3,400. This RPMs is 3,800. Impacts on this one is 4,500. Impacts on this one is only 4,200. I am kind of shocked at what it's doing. Okay, let's keep going with this. Let's put it. Split. Now, if I can do this. I better put some glasses on. I've never had this Ryobi do this good. And they're both their perspective batteries. 4 amp power pack down one, edge down one. Wow. Now let's remove the opposite. I don't know. This Ryobi is getting to impress me. I've hardly used this thing. I probably got maybe 10 or 15 videos on it. But it has way more power than a Gen 1, I can tell you that. That's why I sold both my Gen 1 hammer drill and my impact driver, and I just have the Gen 2 now. Anyhow, when they come out with a better one, why are you keeping the old one unless you just happen to like to keep old tools? The only old Ryobi I have sitting around here is my dad's old Ryobi drill that goes back to 1995. Okay, now let's compare that. Always acts up. Okay. The 840. This came out like 4 years ago. And it's got a 4 amp power pack on it fully charged. Let's put them in previous holes. That went in too quick. Let's try that over again. Let's try that up here. Crack it. Let's try it over here. Let's try one at a time. Now the Ryobi. This Ryobi still impresses me. Drop 2 cells. Let's try this. I gotta put a glove on first. That's really hot. Put it here. Make it here. Make it here. Trying to find smaller holes. Here. And here. Okay, I'm going to put 2 in a piece and see which one's quicker. Okay. We all know you can buy this at Lowe's in a kit. Not with this battery. Maybe this Christmas season you can, but most of the time this comes in a kit. This is the 840. This is their use your finger as a trigger. Normally with a little cheap charger and usually a 1.7 power stack. Now you're not going to get this 400 power pack in this kit unless the wall has to get rid of some. Usually for $100. Usually the 1 amp power stack, the 840, and a cheap little charger for $100. Okay. Now, let's go back to the hydraulics. We're here. And since I have 4 hydraulics, let's get them. Okay. Okay. Like I say, I got 4 of these. Newest one, the Milwaukee Surge Gen 2. Then the 870. And you might as well say Menards probably made this 3 or 4 years ago. The Master Force, even though it's the size of a mid-torque. And of course, the M12 Fuel Surge. Okay. Let's try to remove these. in the slowest speed. Once again. Okay. Speed 1. Let's just pick on this one. Sure vibrates, I can tell you that. Wow. That'll vibrate your hand off. Now let's just go with this one with the Milwaukee new Surge. Make sure I get to speed 1. Still have the 4 amp hour rigid tabless battery on it because they don't make a 4 amp hour Forge yet. I'm sure they probably bring those out next year with probably the new 5th generation M18 fuel. Milwaukee always plays that game. The vibration's a little different on this. It doesn't feel quite as bad. It's more littler. The Walker vibrations are bigger. Okay. Now, let's go with the next two. Let's go with the Master Force Boost, the oddball one. You only get at Menards. You can't buy it anywhere else. And since Flex makes this, pretty sure that's what I heard they do. They make all the tools for Menards, but it says Menards Corporation made in China. Menards Inc., Calera, Wisconsin. Visit Menards.com, made in China. Chevron makes this for Menards. That means, guess what? Chevron owns Flex, and guess what that means? They're going to have a hydraulic impact driver come out. Probably, since they're clearing the Lowe's stores out of all the Flex tools, I mean, they're blowing them out for 60, 50, 60% off. Maybe they're going to have a hydraulic impact driver coming out over the winter. As long as it has almost the same power as their quick eject. Okay, now let's get this. In low. Let's just pick on this one. Okay. Now, let's go with the M12 fuel surge. I don't think it'll be able to remove this. I didn't think so. Let's go with speed 2 and see if it can do it. Yep. Okay. I heard this is coming out probably at World of Concrete or whatever else that they have coming on. You know, Milwaukee, and then they'll probably bring out their new 4-amp forge. And as for bringing out forge batteries for M12, no, that's not going to happen for a long time. Okay. Now, let me clean all this up, and we'll get going on the other tools. Okay. Got to charge a lot of batteries now. Oh, boy. So looking forward to charging up 10 batteries. Well, maybe not 10 batteries. It'll be enough. Surprisingly, the cheap Master Force Boost battery still good. These batteries are only like $80. Okay. Ooh, okay. Now I gotta figure what batteries I'm gonna need. By the way, not many guys have gotten the kit. This is the kit with the new surge. You get a nice plastic case. Comes with two 5-amp hour batteries, a charger, and the impact for $350. You might as well get the kit. Because if you do what I do, I sell the batteries and the charger with another tool I want to get rid of. And right now, I'm thinking about selling my 4th generation M18 fuel because I'm sure the 5th generation's coming out. And now's the time to unload it before it's obsolete. Okay, now let's back this up. Now, this is going to be a fun test. I'm going to have to try to drill through all three. This is 3 inches worth of wood. Okay. Look like I got everything moved. Let me get the tools. The new Bosch right angle drill. I got some tests on it already on YouTube. I'll be doing more, but it's smaller and lighter than the Super Whole Hog from Milwaukee. And I swear, as soon as they come out with their expert batteries, I'm going to order them. It'll probably be just as powerful as the Super Whole Hog. It should be. This is the Super Whole Hog is what, 7 years old already? This is brand new technology in 25. It's smaller, lighter, and cheaper. Way cheaper. That Milwaukee Super Whole Hog bare tool is $450. This bare tool is $300. Okay. You gather all these tools together I'm using. Here's the tool that not many people have at all on YouTube. There's no one on there with it. If you Google DeWalt XR DCF 937 lineman impact wrench, it just came out 3 months ago. This is bare tool, $350. This costs more than the 891 or the 892 because of what it is. They don't make that many of these because 7/16 drive. So you can only run 7/16 stuff on it. So that limits your ability to pretty much do just about anything with it other than drilling. And you can add a 7/16 adapter to put a socket on it. But this really limits anybody else wanting to buy it because I'm the only one on. You Google DeWalt XR DCF 937 lineman impact wrench and you'll get me. There's no one else on YouTube doing it. It's $350. Hell, that costs almost as much as the 961 high torque. Okay, let me go get the drill. Okay, I got the drill. Fine. Very expensive this drill is. ASCM 18-4QMPAS. Made in Germany. This has more buttons on it. I'm going to do a video on this, some lives and a bunch of other stuff shortly. It's got 5 buttons on it. Now, I don't know what half of them even are. You can put this in all kinds of modes to do from wood, metal, concrete, and whatever else not. You know, German technology. And I also have the Metabo German too. This was not cheap at all. Talking, I spent with everything on it, and I mean everything, over $500 on this. And that was on sale. Ain't nothing cheap about it. Okay. Like I say, I've hardly used the drill. It's got so many modes on, and I don't know what they are. I suppose I'll have to learn them. I got all winter to do that. Here's the adapter for 7/16. And it takes Bosch batteries. There we go. It's got 4 speeds. I got a video on YouTube with this going into concrete. You don't want to know how fast this thing is. It's faster than any SDS drill I own, and I only own one. This thing does 60,000 beats in concrete. 60,000. The closest one to it is the Flex Turbo, and that's not even half as fast as this. Okay. Now let's get going on this. I got to come up with one more battery. I'll share the same Bosch battery on, because don't forget, this is amp share. Okay. 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 Now. I don't know who's going to be faster. A right angle, a lineman impact wrench, or a drill that cost probably more than both of them almost put together. Okay. I'll make sure I get this in the shot. Let's try speed 2. May have came apart, but that was fun. Okay. Wow, that was fun. Okay, now I gotta be able to take this bit out. This bit is tough to come out. It requires a hammer. It's too tightly fitted. Okay. Now, I gotta take it out. They have this, Bosch is really tight on their fitting on their 7/16, or this is Crescent is a little too big under 7/16. I don't know what it is. Okay. Now, let us go with the DeWalt. No, actually, let's go with the Fine. Now, here we go. It's on. Okay. I'd rather doubt it'll do speed 4. Boy, this thing vibrates. Nope. Okay. Speed 3. Nope. Speed 2. Nope. One thing. Let's get rid of this. Speed 1. I don't know how to set this drill up. This has so many settings on it. It's showing screw mode. Maybe I should put it in drill mode. That's the thing about this drill. It's very complicated, like German cars. Okay, now I got it in drill mode. We'll put this back. Maybe we'll try speed 2. We'll just remove, get rid of this. We just want to put 2 holes in here. This is already shot. Unless we go try to take this out first. Let's try speed 2. This drill has so many modes on it. Look at that control pad. Looks like the space shuttle. Wow, that took that out. Nah, let's do the other one. Let me loosen this all up. Trying to figure out how to hold all this together. Well, I do have another piece of lumber. Let me try that. Okay, let's try this. Let's go with the biggest. That's already got a hole in it. Okay, you might be able to figure this out. I'm more interested in doing this drill than I am the lineman. I haven't hardly used this drill. I've had it for since June. You know, a man's got to have a hobby, you know. I don't smoke, drink, take drugs, or screw all kinds of people. No, only my wife. I don't have no diseases, in other words. Okay. Now, let's try to figure this out. Okay. I don't think that's going anywhere. Okay, let's try speed 2 in this since we figured this drill out. We have it in screw mode, drill mode. This thing's got, and it's got more modes. Look at all this screen. I don't know half of it. Speed 2. I'd rather doubt it'll do speed 3, but we can try. Nope. Okay. Let's do speed 2. The tip is out of it. Well, it did it. What do you know? This thing does have some torque. Of course, torque 1 would have been, but it probably would have been about the same speed, and it's more dangerous to use it. If you can use a drill in speed 2 and get away with it, like several guys on YouTube say, it's better to do it than speed 1. Because speed 1 is all the balls hanging out. That was in speed 2. Battery's still fully charged too. This is a one hell of a drill. It's got so many buttons on it. I just bought it, used it for a demo, and put it away for what? 4 months. And then you got to know how to press what button to do what and change what mode. Like I say, I have a video on YouTube with this going into a cinder block. 60,000 beats per minute for a hand drill, not an SDS. That's really, 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 really fast. I know it'll tear the 1007 up when it comes to the concrete. Because in speed 4, 60,000 beats per minute in concrete. The Germans make some technology that's beyond belief. This looks like something out of a space movie. It's also over $500. So now, let's try and see if we can use the lineman. Okay, let me take the bit out. It's a little warm. Okay. So we attach the lineman. Pull up on it. Now let me come up with more wood here. Let me see. Can it go in there? Probably could. Actually, let's take this piece of wood off. Okay, let me grab an impact. What a mess. I gotta get my bit. With the DeWalt 860. Okay. Now let me loosen this all up. Let's see which one's more viable. Well, not too many more choices for wood here. Unless, let's not do that. Let's go with this. Let's put this. Actually, let's put this. And then this. We'll try to fit it in over here. Now, why am I doing that? Let's get rid of this. This is the one we're using. We got plenty of wood here. Go with this. And we'll go with this. Okay. Starting to get cold out here in Illinois. Okay, the lineman, DeWalt, XR, DCF 937 lineman, 8 amp power pack, highest speed. Well, it definitely wanted to do it. And the bit came out. You know the bit? I felt that. Okay. Right now, we'll be happy just to go through this as soon as I can get it out. Yeah, we'll spin it out with a drill. I got to be able to put it back in. I expect we've been using that drill bit pretty hard here. Okay, give me a minute. Still think I'm going to take it out with a drill. Let me find a drill here. Okay. Let me just use the fine. Now I'll take the bit out. They go a lot quicker. So you release it. Okay. Looks like it walked out. Yes, it did. It walked right out. I lost a little screw to it. Just dandy. It walked right out. No, they don't have a backup screw. Well, it looks like this demo is done. I got to find this little screw now. It's really tiny and black. Oh boy. Okay. I've been online long enough as it is. So, okay, Eric the Brittle Tool Guy. I'll be going online later in the week. So, okay. We all know if this didn't give me a problem, that lineman would have got it done pretty quick, but not as fast as that right angle. And I even think the fine drill would be quicker than that. But this is for guys that work up in the air, linemen. And if you want to take it easy drilling, not have to worry about holding on to the drill and having a twist on you, you use this. It just costs more than most drills. Eric Beardle Tool Guy signing off.